Well, hello everybody, and welcome back. So good to see you today. My name's Ron Beaudry, and of course this is my YouTube channel where I talk about records. And I also do record comparison videos, and today we're going to do one of those comparisons. And here's the records I'm comparing today. It's Selling England by the Pound by Genesis. This was first released in 1973 on Charisma Records in the United Kingdom. And I think it was 1974, I bought the record. I was living in Winnipeg at the time. I went down to Opus, and I think they probably closed their doors in 82 or 83 or something. But back in 73, they were the biggest record store in Winnipeg, and that's where you could get all the UK imports. And so I bought the UK first press down at Opus, and I had that for years and years, and that's the record I played over and over again, and I got to love this record. And so probably about 20 years ago now, Classic Records reissued this record, and it was remastered by Bernie Grundman. And this record sounds fantastic. It really was a big improvement over my original UK pressing. So really, really good to have this. Now, here lately, in the last while, Acoustic Sounds has reissued this, and it was reissued by Chris Bellman over at Bernie Grundman Mastering again. And now it's been redone on a 2LP at 45 RPM. Classic Records did it at 33 1/3. So this is what I've been comparing. And now normally, when you take a 33 1/3 record that was done 20 years ago, and now they've got the master tape again, they're remastering it at 45 RPM, there's usually a marked improvement. And you don't have to listen hard to hear it. That's not the case with this record. I've had this record for quite a while, and I've been listening to it off and on. And ever since last week, when I told folks I've got the record and I'm going to do a video, I got a little more fire, and so I've been listening to it. I listened to it quite a bit today. And so I thought today's a good day to do it when it's still fresh in my mind. I didn't write any notes down or do any of that, but I've got my impressions of the record. And the 2LP 45 RPM version is better, but it's not by a lot. What it does have, it has those little hallmarks of what an audiophile record does better than a non-audiophile record. But right, we're already talking about an audiophile record. I'm comparing, supposedly apples to apples here. And if you were to take, just say somebody, like myself actually, sit down and listen to for the first time, one and the other kind of thing, just put one song and then put the next song on, it's like, they both sound good. Yeah. They might be a little different, but I can't really tell you what the difference is. Yeah, no, we're not going to do that today. I think the first thing you notice is just there's just a more quality of tone, more of a purity of tone to the record. The AP now. The AP has a little more of that decay in the whole recording, let's say, which is a little more of that echo, which really translates into more space. It sounds a little bit bigger, and there is more fidelity on the record. I did notice on one track I was listening to, the snare drum was pretty prominent in that. On the Classic Records edition, you could hear the snare really good. You could hear more of the bottom end of that snare. But on the AP version, I could hear the skin. I could really hear more of the snap of the snare drum. And it hit a little bit harder as well. In the Analog Productions, the 2LP, it just seems to have it's a little bit more effortlessly you're listening to it. Not that the classic records struggles to get the information out. It just has that slight little veil over the music that the AP kind of breaks through that and gives you a little bit more, fidelity. But it's more about the spaciousness, the air, the better quality of tone. There's a little bit more of like the third order harmonics on some of those higher end things. You can hear a little bit more of that type of thing. But you really, really have to listen for it. But as I was thinking about the whole thing now, I said, well, before I did the video, I looked up this record, and there's only one of these quality records on eBay. There used to be, 5, 6, 10 of them, but they're getting a bit, long in the tooth now, so you don't see them as often. There was one on there, they wanted $600. Well, yeah, you know why? Nobody's buying it for $600. That's why it's on there. But this is what you're going to have to pay for to get this record if you want to buy one today. And I didn't go to Discogs and all over the place, but yeah, $600 is a little bit unrealistic for the record. But, and then you're going to buy a used one. They're not going to be sealed or anything like that, but you can buy a brand new sealed copy in pristine condition, brand new, for $60 versus what does this cost? Right. So it's actually a really, really good value because this is a great sounding record right here. Now, I was expecting it to really outperform this Classic Records edition. It didn't do it, but we all love Chris Bellman, right? He does good stuff. And this is a good record. I guess it just goes to show you how good of a job Bernie did back in the day on this record. I was kind of expecting Chad to use the old plates that they had. The Bernie Grumman cut him at 33 and usually cut him at 45. I was expecting that he had Chad just use the old plates and put it out. But when I checked on the website, they said this was redone by Chris Bellman from the original master tape. So, there's the video. Hope you enjoyed it. It wasn't a whole bunch to say about it because it's not a whole bunch better. And like I said, if you would just take someone, sit them down and listen to one song and on one, listen to the other one, they'll say, yeah, they're both great. I don't really hear any difference because you won't. It's going to take, it takes time, right, to hear the differences. Now, I did have a subscriber, it was yesterday, I think, ask me to do a video about the records that I purchased in the last 10 years. Of course, that's a lot of records. But I think what he's getting at was some new music, some new titles. Not all the reissues that I bought, right? That's not new music. So I didn't think I had a lot because, I've been buying a lot of Blue Notes and buying a lot of reissues, and that's kind of what I've been buying, just upgrading the collection, because it really is hard to find new records that I like. It's hard to do. I watched a video here about 2 weeks ago. The video was about progressive rock music for the last 25 years. And he was going to pick one record from each year, which was the best progressive rock record from the whole year that he had ever heard. And so he had 25 records. And out of the whole 25 records, I only bought one of those records. I only bought one. And I hadn't heard of any of those bands, okay? And the one band that I did buy was Riverside. And I'd like to give a shout out to Barry, who has been a long time subscriber basically since day one. He always makes a comment on every single video, and That's what you call a true friend. He's always there to give advice. And he suggested here just the other day that, hey, I heard about this band called Riverside. I really like them. You should check them out. And so Barry and I, we have the exact same taste in music, and this is why he enjoys my videos, and we always enjoy our conversations together. And that's going to conclude the video, and thanks for watching, and bye for now.